Alright, Phil. That's the biggest one I've pulled out in the last couple of days. I don't exactly know how much it weighs. I tried to do this video during the daytime, but I just got really busy. I mean, this thing's got good portion, fusion crust and stuff like that on it. It is the same type of material that is the main mass of the Daisy. But yeah, you tell it was oriented this way. But I mean, this thing's probably 140, 150 pounds. And this is the next biggest one. It's pretty gnarly. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is my neighbor that lives on the other side of the street over there. I mean, literally 100 yards from here. All the stuff you see on that side came from over there. There are two piles that are basically like Indian mounds. And all I did was just go around and dig what I could out of the surface. You know, there's those big black carpenter ants and fire ants, and I don't know, they had that thing zoned out to themselves, and I came over there and disturbed it and caused ant world war over there or something. But I got some interesting stuff to show you. Some stuff that's gonna solve a few questions and raise a few others. Let me see. I mean, that's a good one right there. That good fusion crust on that one. And this right here, I think is one of those really neat looking, those achondrites that I have. That have all the olivine and stuff on them. I wish this flashlight would get a little bit dimmer. Let me try. Okay, that's better than using my power of the sun flashlight. And it's just a little bitty thing. It's even got a switch on it that will, like, check this out. You see how far that thing goes there? That's with the auto dimmer. I'm gonna turn the auto dimmer off. Oh yeah. And it'll stay lit for a good hour and a half, 2 hours at full brightness. And it'll shine a good 100 yards. And it's as tough as a mag light. Hurts just as bad too, from what my friend said. You know, he shouldn't have walked up behind me. I got some really interesting stuff here. And when you see some of it, you're going to be like, now Chris, I see a shell. That's a fossil. Yes sir, it is. But it's a tektite fossil, or a breccia fossil, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. You know how we've been thinking that this thing touched down in water? Well, here's pretty much our proof. And the whole rest of the proof is over on the other side over there, where there is two other tektites that are fossil tektites that are the size of the meteorite that I found that's as big as a motorcycle. They're huge. And some other briefcase sized ones and stuff like that. Main thing is, we'll just take this guy right here for example. Let's see, where's the shell? I mean, you can look at this and tell that it is a fossil. It is a fossil. There are shells in it. It's made out of layered, like right down in there, you see the little lines of the shell. There's another one that was really evident. Oh, there it is. See? Yeah, it's a shell. Alright, so now we are agreed that this is a fucking fossil. Alright. But look at this surface. Just look at this. Now, there are only 3 explanations for that. And you know them just as well as I do. Either Theia had life in oceans for long enough to at least lay down, I don't know, a few dozen yards of sediment in multiple layers over a long enough period of time to smush it down into a fossilized bedrock, or coquina, whatever you want to call it. Well, most of those layers, they always stay pretty well straight, flat, and concurrent. This shit, man, this stuff was put through a blender. For example, here is a piece. Let's see. It's easy to see. It's these damn lights. They're too fucking bright. If I could turn the damn light down. Where's the light? There, now you can, kind of see the layered striations of the organic matter as it was laid down on the seafloor. Well, so look at this side. Let me dim the light down a little bit. I may have to take this piece inside to show you. And there's a fusion crust on it. This piece has begun to go past the point of fossilization and go into crystallization. That takes a long frickin' time, And this piece, this bottom half of it, and I got a couple other pieces that are like it. They're part fossil and partly melted, resolidified, and crystallized into something else. So I've never seen a fossil breccia or a fossil tektite before until now. And I some of these pieces I didn't even think were fossils until I got them cleaned off, because they had so much clay on them. And here's another one. You see that crystallization? And this is a fossil. Yeah, it's a fossil, my man. And there's more melted parts. I mean, this I'm pretty sure we got proof positive right here. And I found two other types in here too. Like here's a piece of one. I'm not exactly sure what this shit is, but closest thing I've been able to find online that comes close to this is lunar in origin. And here's another piece of it. And I have pallasites, my friend. A few of them, several of them. Oh, I was so excited when I found these. Pallasite, 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 pallasites, pallasite. I think this is some pallasite. No. This is nope. Where's that? Oh, right here. That's pallasite. Sure is. Let's see. There's some more. Back here. Oh, here's another one that is not fossil material. It's more or less the same stuff as that. And if you look closely, if it'll... where'd it go? Here it is. Alright. Let's see if I can do this. We're going to zoom in. Come on now. Alright. You see that big inclusion basically right in the middle of the screen right there? Just to the right of it, that's a ½ an inch on the screen. You got a little bit too close there. Hold on. Where'd it go? There we go. All right. You see both inclusions right there? That one on the right? Doesn't that mighty resemble a chondrule? I think it is. I think that's a chondrule. There's a few more of them on there too. I'm getting the right spots. There's one right in the middle of the screen. If I can hold this fucking thing still, I'm using my right arm. There's a few of them on that piece. And then, let me back out. There's this one. And it has some chondrules on it too. Like, there's one right there. And, palisite, I think. And this is another one of that same new stuff, but I'm not sure what it is. I'll figure it out though, because I'll show you something really cool that I'm building using my physics degree probably for the last time in my life. But nice big piece of breccia, or tektite, whatever the frack you want to call it. It's half melted, half not. Might as well want to call that an achondrite, maybe a palisite. I don't know. But this one is a palisite right here. There's a few spots on this sucker. If I can find them. That's two olivine gems. And up underneath this corner. Now, that's cool. I know what those are, but it's the first time I've actually seen them with my own eyes. There's a piece online that is just evenly speckled with those marks. Pretty sure you've seen that piece. That's that one. And there's this. I'm going to send you a piece of this too. And this is, I think, lunar. A type of lunar quartz. I've seen it in many places online. And this is exactly just, it's right on the money, man. But just look at, I kept this one because it's a real good example of what this fossil layer looks like. Like it was just put in a blender and you hit frappe, you know. And here's another one of those wider pieces. And then, you know, this big old boy right here. Where'd it go? I know it's here. Where is it? Oh, this is one of those red ones. Yeah, that's how bright red, and the whole material all the way through the damn thing is that bright red color. And it's not rust either. That's a breccia. I believe that's an achondrite. This is a really good example of a piece of daisy that was across the street. And that was across the street too. Look at that flow line. Ain't that some badass shit, man? Some good little fusion crust remnants. Good fusion crust remnant on that. And right there too. Another really good piece of daisy. And I believe this is a baby palisite. Piece of fusion crust. And this one has some pretty funky transitions on it. Look at that thing. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm the guy that's getting to date the entire fucking cheerleading team. Everybody's gonna be jealous. And here's a piece of a palisite. Brecca, Tektite. Another one. And this guy here. Now this one, the guy that owns the property over there had to have done a little bit of investigating himself, because he cut this thing up, but he left one side of it where it wasn't cut, and you can see the pressure inclusions as it was heating up, turning into a molten surface. And I mean, it's got, I mean, you can see chondrules in there. There's one right next to my thumb. A couple more right there. Some more right there. More down on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure what the hell this shit here is. I mean, I'm finding some awfully weird colored stuff, man. Baby palisite. 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 It's either a brecca or a palisite, but, you know, it's got some chondrules in it. Little bitty ones. I mean, this thing, this is definitely a liquid touchdown. I'm fairly certain, 100% certain that that's what it is now. Is a liquid touchdown. Pretty, got diamonds in it. This is an olivine, the biggest olivine crystal I've ever seen out of a meteorite, and it's been shocked, like shocked to the point it left its soul in the previous solar system. When I get to some better light, I'll take a couple of these pieces inside with me. But yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what this big boy here weighs. All I know is I cleaned it with a pressure washer. Yeah, I know, but I was really gentle, and I used the soap head so I wouldn't be putting very much pressure on it. I didn't want to separate the fusion crust from it. Look, there's a chondrule right there. But I think that these are A chondrites, because in any specimen that I have, and I mean, I shot pressurized water in this side of it, and jets of water came out the other end of it. So there is tunneling all through this thing, and when you have it angled just right, I mean, it's too big for me to hold it. Hold on. Yeah. Shit. Just look at this thing, man. I mean, doesn't it just make your nerd twitch just a little bit? I mean, finding one of these things is almost as good as finding somebody that can, you know, swallow it and smile at you at the same time and sing their ABCs. I mean, I have no idea what something like that would even be worth, but I mean, wow. I think you're right, though. Plus, I still got to get all this crap up off the ground here. I mean, look at all this. I mean, there's probably 2,000 meteorites just laying right here in a big ass freaking pile between these buckets and everything. And probably another 3,000 in there, and another 750 or so inside. Yeah. Plus probably about 150 in the back of this truck. Oh yeah, there's my lighting. Works good, huh? I'll turn this off. But yeah, that lighting works pretty good. I definitely don't have an issue with seeing under the hood at night. And I think it would look good for a show too, because all the chrome will just glisten. It glistens, it glistens. Let's see if you can hear it. You hear that sizzling? I can smell it too. Yeah, she's getting warm now. Set this down on 40 amps. I'm sure that's on 40. Yeah. I'm trying to, desulfurication this battery. Because I can't afford to buy, since I'm not working anymore. And I'm having to wait on this ivory and gold encrusted freaking barge to come in with all these damn meteorites, and the fame of it being, if I'm not mistaken, it's what, the only cometary impact on planet Earth that still has a recognizable crater and a significant amount of the mass that's being able to be recovered. That's the only one that I've ever heard of. And the last actual comet that I know that hit anything out here and anywhere in our solar system was Shoemaker-Levy back in 1991. That broke apart into 13 individual pieces that hit like a string of pearls. And each one of those left an explosion on the surface of Jupiter, what, 2 times the size of Earth? Yeah, that'd have been a bad day for us. So we got lucky with this impact. But my dad's more into geology and historical geology and stuff like that. And when it comes to continental drift, plates rising and lowering and settling or floating higher depending on weight release and ice sheet advancement or retreating, Dad's pretty damn certain that the inland sea that was here was, he's thinking it more or less started somewhere around 500,000 to 1 million years ago, and that this impact with the weathering on a lot of these pieces and the water erosion that we're seeing, almost like they've been tumbled due to wave action or something like that. We're thinking this impact's a lot older than I was hoping it was, because I honestly was hoping that I could connect it to our little ice age that we had 10,000 years ago that only lasted, 2,000 years. And when they normally occur, the planetary processes, an ice age lasts 30 to 50,000 years, not 2,000. That's more like a nuclear winter. So something else had to have caused that one. But Dad's thinking that this impact's probably somewhere between 50 and 60,000 years old. Which just amazes me. For real. I mean, I'm finding stuff in places I never thought to even think about finding anything like that. Like when I walked to the mailbox today, I found 4 chunks of lime green olivine that were just perfectly clear, just right there in the side of the dirt road, just wedged, like they've been there for years. They're scuffed up on the outside a little bit, but you hold them up to the light and they sparkle just like they're gem quality. And that just floored me right there. And when I get inside, I'm going to show you something else that just floored me also. But I'll show you while I'm waiting for this battery to do whatever the fuck it's going to do. I need to blow out my 2 LTC machines too. I was over here, you know, I was pressure washing, washed my truck and the meteorites on the trailer. And as you can see, in here, we've got all kinds of different stones. Just gravel, you know, regular crap. I was right here, just walking in between here, and right in this little spot right here, I found 5 pieces that were the size of a $50, one a little bit bigger, that were true blue pallasites. I mean, you just knew it when you saw it, like, that's a damn pallasite. What the fuck's that shit doing here? And oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, piece of candy. Oh, God, piece of candy. So I went through this whole thing and got 9 pallasite pieces that range anywhere from 15 to probably 30 grams and are just chocked full of olivine. And I think this is a piece of it. Yeah. This, if you look online, you'll find a chondrite that somebody found wedged in a tree that's got a green crystalline structure, and they want like 50 grand for it. I have got 3 pieces now of that same green crystalline structure. They're just smaller than what this guy found. I don't know, but all I can tell you, Phil, is I've got 17, count them, 17 different types from all 3 main families, mostly stonies and achondrites. I honestly, the only irons that I have found are things, you know, the size of your thumb and smaller, that I know are solid irons. Because, you know, you throw them past a magnet and they veer and stick to the magnet. That's how powerful they are. But it makes sense, and it puts even more proof down to the line of this being a cometary impact. Because, you know, comets, well, I did a little research on those too. And lo and behold, comets are very, very low in iron. They formed in a region where there just wasn't much iron, because, you know, iron went to towards the center of the solar system for the most part, and we're talking Kuiper belt. Between the Kuiper belt and the Oort cloud is where this thing formed at. And then as it moved in, it picked up more stuff. I'm probably thinking it moved into the inner solar system when Theo was still a planet, before it got ripped apart to tidal forces and gave us our asteroid belt and Vesta. However, the timing was on this. This sucker had to move in within a very narrow window of time to have been able to capture pieces of Thea's outer core and mantle interface, which is, well, I know that's what I have, because that's the only region in a planet that's large enough to do so and create 25 gigapascals of pressure with 500-600 C temperatures to create diamonds the normal way, like we do here on Earth, or what you call it's a regular old word, and I just can't think of it right now, but I'm just going to call them standard diamonds. They look like 2 pyramids that are butted up against each other. That's what you get under 25 gigapascals of pressure and high temperatures. That's just the lattice they form. When you have them form in the atmosphere of a star, mainly where the magnetic bands get twisted up, and you have the sunspots, the high magnetic areas where it can actually hold a material there. And we know, obviously, we both know that our star has enough power, even though it is a a little bitty star in comparison to everything else out there. It has enough power to mold and shape a carbon diamond lattice. And that's why a lot of these diamonds I have are rounded and melted little droplets, it looks like. Instead of the normal crystalline structure that you see. Quartz doesn't form that way. They're not quartz. I've already done a bunch of tests on them anyway. So I'm thinking this thing either somehow way or another stabilized itself on its trip to the inner solar system around the time Theia was breaking apart. Maybe the different pieces that it picked up from Theia, the pallasites, the achondrites, the urolites, the mesidrites, the chondrites, the whole blasted gangbang of whatever this is was all picked up. It had to have been right there as Theia was breaking apart. That's the only time that there would have been a concentration of that many types in one little spot in the solar system that a large enough comet would have been able to pick them up. And then it sat there in the belt for who knows how long. And I do know that once a cometary object gets in past Saturn, it lights up. It's enough heat to turn some of the ices to gas. Some of the liquid nitrogen and stuff like that. So this thing sat roughly between Mars and Jupiter, picking up material, forming new ices around this material, and picking up more material without losing any ice, and it was already inside the what I call the melt zone. Inside of Jupiter is what I call the melt zone. So how the hell, unless it shadowed something like Vesta, as Vesta was forming, maybe it was a satellite of Vesta. It's a possibility. And just from the speed and angular momentum and everything of its orbit, it was able to keep Vesta between it and the sun. It kept it in the shade. So it didn't lose any ice for a couple of billion years. Which is far stretched to begin with, but I mean, what the hell else? I mean, you have to follow the simplest line of logic here. I mean, it's Einstein would call it, keep it simple, stupid. A half-inch equation that explains everything that's in the macro universe. You're damn right. Keep it simple. That's the simplest explanation I can give you. That has common sense behind it and some experience and knowledge and research. All I know is I'm enjoying the hell out of this because I know it'll never happen to me again. It'll probably never happen to anyone else on this planet in our lifetime. For many lifetimes, more than likely. Which is pretty cool. That's kind of like unifying physics. Which, well, if I ever see you in person, I got a story to tell you about that. I used to work for the Department of Defense. And my department was the advancement of unknown technology and reverse engineering. That's about all I can tell you. And I worked on some pretty cool shit. Some stuff that make you go, well, are you sure I'm the right guy to look at this? And when they call and they say, well, you're the only guy with any qualifications anywhere close to being possibly what's supposed to be looking at this. All right, then. Let's see what this thing does. Damn. is a pain in the butt. I think my battery might just be a little bit too far gone. Because it had been, I had it on 200 amp charge so it would boil and try and get some of that sulfurication off. But yeah, buddy. All right. Oh, good Lord. It's gonna take a minute. And I know that, nope, it's off. Okay. Gosh, I don't have, well, I mean, I could pull my Jeep over here, but I'm just being lazy right now. So I don't know, man. You know, I'll take a couple pieces inside with me. And dang, what the? That is not supposed to be that damn refractive. In the world. Why is it? Because it wasn't that bright a minute before, was it? I know it wasn't. Because I know it wasn't. It's never been like that. What the hell? Huh. Well, I don't know, man. But it looks like it literally looks like the engine's glowing. Yeah, that motherfucker gets white hot. It's hot. I'm telling you, it's hot. Alright, I'm going to end the video now. So, you scratch your head a little bit and let me know what you think.